critics are slamming Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot over her race-based interview policy after the Democrats said she would prioritize requests from reporters of color. And she's not backing off that decision. In fact, she just doubled down, telling Chicago journalists in a letter that, quote, "I have been struck since my first day on the campaign trail back in 2018 by the overwhelming whiteness and maleness of Chicago media outlets, editorial boards, the political press corps, and yes, the City Hall press corps specifically." Harris, coming to you, I loved your tweet on this last night. In fact, I retweeted it. It was very simple, but it just got to the heart of the matter. And you said, well, this journalist knows that any discrimination hurts all. We are Americans first.
Absolutely. Thank you for the retweet.
Anytime.
I do believe that for her to say this, it actually racially divides us in all new ways. It isn't just about skin color. She's assuming what we think based on our skin color and our ethnicity. She's thinking perhaps in a city where we've seen an inordinate amount of black victims and black on black crime, that being held accountable to that or for that might not be a question that a person of color would ask. Now, I'd want to get deeper into that with her because that's my perception based on her only wanting to sit with certain people, and there are so many incendiary topics having to do with people of color that maybe she might get a pass on, thinking that she knows us. And we reached out to her. We've yet to hear back. I was working the phones till 10 o'clock last night. I do also believe that this divides us in another way. So if you think you're only going to get certain questions from people who look a certain way and not others, you don't give yourself or your constituents an opportunity to see you treat everybody equally. We get to see you treat us in a racist way. And let's call that what it is. You're dividing us by skin color and ethnicity and not giving us an equal opportunity and equal access to do our job, which is to hold the powerful accountable. And you're teaching the people who voted for you that that's how you roll if it's something you don't approve of. Look, I'm not going to argue with her and say that there shouldn't be more diversity in certain areas, but as Tammy Bruce said on Faulkner Focus last hour, there are lots of ways that you can achieve that. You might want to hire some good human resources or legal advisors like yourselves to make sure you do it in the proper way. But in this way, as an elected official, to say that some people are valued more than others in the circle of media, and you're going to base it on the things that we were born with that we cannot change. I can only get darker. I cannot become a non-black woman. So only change that. She's assuming that I'm going to think a certain way.
Right.
I don't know if I'll ever hear back.
You probably
won't.
won't.
Still reaching out.
I'm going to place a bet. I don't think you'll hear back.
It's
that's
okay. She knows what I'd ask now.
Emily, immediately when I read this, I thought, is this even constitutional to just say I'm only taking interviews from, people of a certain race?
There is no way that this passes constitutional muster. Absolutely not. She's holding a government position. And actually, just this week, a federal judge, he granted an order enjoining the Small Business Administration from continuing to parse out their grants, $2.6 billion in grants based on race and gender. And the argument essentially was that the American Rescue Plan, which directed the SBA in its infinite wisdom to prioritize certain restaurant applications on the basis of race or gender, there was uproar over it. And this judge, by the way, in this context, an injunctive order, that's an extraordinary remedy, and the movement has to meet all four requirements. That's a high burden. And one of those requirements is the substantial likelihood of success, meaning that the judge gets this on his desk. He says, the movement says, we want the SBA to stop prioritizing people based on race or gender, just like this mayor was doing. And there's a substantial likelihood of succeeding on the merits that it violates the Equal Protection Clause.
Yeah.
Same situation.
She's breaking the law.
Very good
that
analysis.
What you're saying? Well, this isn't the first time. She broke her own rules and laws in the pandemic.
Right.
When she got that haircut surreptitiously that she wasn't supposed to get.
Along with Nancy Pelosi.
Her other constituents couldn't do that.
This is no surprise, but I think in this climate of the narratives that are being pushed, people are forgetting where our constitutional rights and where our constitutional protections lay. To your point about what's making us more divided, what steps backward we're taking, ignoring the protections that people fought and died for to put in place.
That's right. And Tommy, coming to you, I think Harris hit on something very important, which is that she wants to ignore the crime in her streets. In fact, 46 individuals were shot last weekend alone. I called her out on this from the podium, the press podium, saying she was the derelict mayor of Chicago, to which she replied to me, "Shut your mouth, Karen." So I think that this is her just not wanting to talk about those crime numbers.
Well, again, to Harris's point as well, she's also assuming, as Harris rightly pointed out, that maybe people of color, black and brown people, might not ask her difficult questions. But we're talking about diversity. And, you know, she tweeted out that she wanted diversity and inclusion, and she's going about it by exclusion, which is really interesting to me that she believes that she could actually throw that out there like it was an effective way to get to what she says she wants to get to. But another thing that really bothered me about what she said, it's almost like she was disgusted when she was talking about whiteness. How are we going to come together as a nation and have true equality if we look to certain people and we're disgusted by their skin color? I mean, what happened to the content of your character, not the color of your skin? And furthermore, if she wants to talk about journalism, maybe not just diversity of color, maybe diversity of thought might actually help the journalistic process, something that we know a lot of journalists right now and a lot of folks in the media and in leadership positions, especially on the Democrat side, don't seem to prioritize much.
That's right. And let me quote her accurately. She said, "Watch your mouth, Karen." So not as bad as shut your mouth, but in the same light. Coming to you, Dave, though, the crime numbers, of course, she wants to ignore. But at least one Chicago Tribune reporter, to his credit, stepped up and said, "I've been granted an interview by her office, but I'm rejecting this policy and standing in solidarity with other reporters and not taking the interview."
Yeah, that's fantastic, and that's what journalists, we don't have many journalists left. We have a lot of journalists, with air quotes. That's what journalists need to do. Most importantly, I want to make sure that Harris doesn't hold her breath waiting for that interview, because she's going to pass out and fall out of that chair. And that would not be good, because it's not going to happen, obviously. She doesn't want to be challenged by a genuine journalist. But I'll go a step further than all of you here and say that Lori Lightfoot is a racist. She is not a reverse racist. She is a good old-fashioned racist. She believes that skin color is the primacy of life. It is the most important thing. And that if a journalist was to walk into the room, she would treat one journalist different based on skin color than another journalist. And to even go further, this has taken over the modern Democratic Party. If you think this is going to stop with Lori Lightfoot, just wait. Just wait till what is going to come with the rest of them, because they're telling you, they are telling you that they view race as above everything else. And we are going to see more and more of this, and we must call it out for what it is. Not half answers. Lori Lightfoot, if you're watching this, you're a racist.
Right.
Real quickly, just to add something very, very fast onto what David was saying. Let's wipe away the word journalist and just put in the word people. Is she preferring, and that's the question that I would want to, are you preferring non-white people?
Yeah.
I mean, forget about what we do. That's the profession I hold. But I'm a mom. I'm a whole lot of things. Would you prefer I be dark?
Yeah, that is a salient point, Harris. Very well said.